Live on Facebook and on Zoom. So welcome everyone to another episode of our weekly coin market analysis and coin review. So as usual, our anchor is Vama. Vama, he has a very interesting topic that he'll be discussing this week. Vama, you're welcome to this episode.
Thank you so much, Lee, again for inviting. It's such an honor to discuss. This is my fifth weekly session, so I'm very much excited. So let's just get started right away. So just to start about this topic which I'm going to discuss this time, it's little bit related with finance, and we're going to get a little bit deeper. But again, it's also related with the normal things which we do in our day-to-day life. So this is easy to relate that way. So we are going to talk about how cryptocurrency can help startups get investment capital. Okay, so this is very interesting topic I find right now, because there are like a lot of people looking for investment ideas, and I believe it's also easy to start an ICO, because I have had some contacts whom I have helped in the past 3 to 4 years before, and I've seen them starting it very easily. An ICO, again, it would depend on the legal regulations of every country whether they allow or not, but at the end it's easy right now to raise capital that way. And if I talk about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset part, so I've learned it a lot from venture capitalists and angel investors whom I have been connected with. Every day on a regular basis, I do get some kind of information, and which I always try to learn. So I'm going to discuss these two specific topics specifically in this session. And if anyone has any question, definitely they can drop in the comment or chat box. So I'll get back to that question. So let's just get started. So before we jump directly into the topic, I just wanted to show you this photo where you find on the right hand side you have a fixed mindset, on the left hand side you have a growth mindset. So if you see, the fixed mindset says like, I can't do this, this is too hard, I don't want to do this, I don't care, I quit, I am dumb, I hate this, this is boring, I don't feel like it. Okay, so it's purely a negative kind of an aspect. Because when I say people like this market is huge, this has $350+ billion investment, so it's flowing in the market, so it's bullish. But it's like, no, I hate this, I am dumb, I can't learn this. So that's number one thing. I also talk with a lot of engineering students, so they just say like, no, I'm purely from technical background and I don't have an edge over accounting, so how could I learn this kind of analysis and financial stuff and like that. So that's something like a fixed mindset. But now when I come to the left hand side, which is growth mindset, so it says like, oops, I made a mistake, I'll fix it. Okay, so they admit that they're wrong and they need to bring a change. I can do hard things, so they are ready to accept as well as they are ready to take up challenges. I believe I can do it. My brain is smart. I want to learn, so the passion to learn. So it's not just one industry, you need to learn multiple industries information. I want to learn, I'll try my best, I won't give up, I'll try, I can do this. Okay, so that's something I wanted to highlight in this. But we'll also jump a little bit deeper, some things which I have learned from my venture capitalist and angel investor friends. So they've just helped me a lot to improve in terms of investments, as well as they've also helped me a lot in terms to understand how to have a growth mindset rather than having a fixed mindset. This is definitely going to help in terms of cryptocurrencies and blockchain. So let's just quickly see what's inside fixed mindset versus growth mindset. So we'll talk about something called as fixed mindset. So fixed mindset people, they just focus on themselves. They don't try to see things from others' perspective. But when you see growth mindset people, they care about others, their opinions, and they show gratitude. So they always thank people saying, wow, this is an amazing idea. You just opened my mind and this is amazing. Okay, so this is the difference. Another could be like fixed people mindset. They'll always create some kind of a story around themselves, and they don't like to take information a lot. So they're like, I know everything, I am the best and something stuff like that. But when you see growth mindset people, so they're very good storytellers. I've met amazing storytellers in the past, and they get right into the customer mindset and they solve the issues at a single go. So they never procrastinate. It's like, even if you have a meeting with them, let's say for even 10 minutes, they just get to the point. They don't go in and around anything, and they just think about how to create that kind of an impact. And I believe, like, if you are a copywriter or if you're a good storyteller, that will help you a lot to have that kind of a growth mindset. The next one being like fixed mindset people, they blame everyone around them in the ecosystem when they fail. So, for example, somebody invests, some kind of money, let's say any kind of a financial stock or market. So instead of blaming themselves, they what they do is they just say like, oh, this economy is bad, or the exchange which I invested, they are not good. They didn't give me good arbitrage and stuff like that. But the moment when they are successful, they don't thank others, so they don't share credit to others. This is one important aspect I have learned when I was a fixed mindset person, until I changed into a growth mindset. So even I used to say like, if I am not successful, this is because of this reasons. Okay, but that's not the real fact. It's again, it comes to me. So if I am not successful, there has to be some reason why I am not able to fulfill that desire or goal which I always want to. Growth mindset people take blame of themselves for each stall they face in. So that's sort of the same point I'm saying. And they take everyone around them and give them credit for their contributions. They are in fact also okay to not get credit, as they believe it's a team effort. So that's the difference between a fixed and a growth mindset, because here I'm talking about somebody who is trying to give credit to others even if the work is done themselves. Okay, so they believe in sharing things and giving credit to people as well to make people uplifted. Fixed mindset people keep on changing their goals daily, because this is, you'll find it very often when you try to observe people. You'll find they're clueless about the future. Every day they'll have a new story. They'll keep changing regularly what they want. They're just pretty confused with their life. And the important part you will realize is they'll not let others know about their weaknesses, so they'll just hide those weaknesses. But if you see with growth mindset people, they have very focused and time bound goals, and they're always building relationship with others, because they believe their future is dependent on that, and they know exactly what they want. That's what is a growth mindset. They have pure clarity in the thought process and will keep working around their weaknesses until they master it. So for me, I can say, like, for example, I was an introvert, so I didn't like to talk with many people when I was in school. Okay, but when I entered into the college graduation life, I started working around my weaknesses to become a public speaker. So I joined a lot of groups and I started interacting with a lot of leaders that way. So I knew that, okay, this is one weakness I need to improve, maybe learn something like stadium pitch and stuff like that. So if you have some weakness, you try to highlight that, tell people how to improve, take the regular feedbacks. But if you're trying to hide it, you always have something called as a fixed mindset, and it's very difficult to change. Now, let's just quickly talk about ICOs. Okay, so one important thing what I realized when I was actually, I'm talking about 2015. That was a very promising year for me. So when I was in 2015, I heard this terms. In 2017 also, I heard a lot of buzzwords around initial coin offering, and people used to say like, oh, it's something which is unique because it doesn't have a control on others. Just like when you start a company, so you have a control because there will be a venture capitalist, there will be an angel investor, or let's say it's a bootstrapping business. So somebody has a control at the end of it. But in ICOs, it's purely divided, and it's a good part of that cryptocurrency and decentralization and blockchain is you don't have to depend on everyone. Okay, so it's like you can actually start something and you can club your efforts with other business investors and all. So somebody can launch an ICO and then they can make others as early investors. They can get that benefit. You might have seen a lot of case studies where all these cryptocurrencies, we started with something around maybe 15-20 in 2009 2012, in that direction, and then from there it has now reached 5,000 plus cryptocurrencies. Now everyone is obviously coming from ICOs, so you know how successful these companies are. let's just show you how to start an ICO. So these are some steps I could gather, which something I believe in. But before jumping to starting an ICO, first let us know what's the difference between ICO and something called as IPO, initial public offering, which most of the companies do, get into share market. So ICOs were a way for young companies to raise money by issuing a digital currency tied to the value and services that the company provides. So this is important to know that it is related everything with the digital world. It's all digital currency. So you don't have to depend on multiple intermediaries here. You just have to focus on, having your own currency, or, you can also invest in other ICOs. The currency acts similar to shares in a company, like on the public stock market, increasing in value as it's traded online. So this is how Ethereum came into the place. This is how Cardano came into the place, and the value keeps increasing because people keep buying, and you see that there's a fluctuation up and down, and the market cap increases overall. Because again, if you see in 2009 to 2012, the market cap was too less for cryptocurrencies and blockchain, but now it is so huge, and I believe in next 5 years it's going to be again 5 to 10x of that. So this is all because ICOs are working good. It's like a startup, but here the thing is they don't have to depend like generally you depend on a venture capitalist and stuff like that. So they don't have to depend that way. That kind of what I can say is they don't have that kind of leverage here. They do have, but again not that extent. Most important, ICOs expanded the investor pool from a few hundred venture capital firms to millions of every day. So people are excited to invest. Okay, so there's like so much ICOs already in the market which you can actually think of. This market represented more money. It represented more investors, which meant a greater likelihood to get funded. So basically, I was sold. So you see, when you have lot of money flowing circulating in that, so there will be like lot of investors coming in, just like for example you see in cryptocurrencies. So why is the money so much flowing? Okay, it's going from one currency to another, or maybe somebody is buying a digital asset, or maybe they are buying something to a day-to-day expense, some kind of an asset. So there's a high chance it will get funded because they see that value. And if you really want to start an ICO, you need to first do the market research and kind of basics. So these are some specific steps I have highlighted how to start an ICO. First one being come up with an idea, think it through, and make sure that your project actually needs an ICO. This is very important, that you need to be very clear with your idea, and it actually needs an initial coin offering. You need to do that kind of a research. So I recommend Cointelegraph as one of the websites. There's multiple. I'll anyways show you after this. Know your competition, so you can always use Neil Patel's Uber Suggest to actually get the SEO and keywords and stuff like that. This is third one is very important. Research the legal side of things and find out if ICOs are actually legal in your country. So for example, in different countries there are different laws, so you need to be very careful with that. And if it's not possible in your country, so find somebody who is in another country. They could help you setting up things, because now everything is digital, so it's not necessary you need to open something sitting at your location. You can also get leverage that way to open in some other location. Next is creating an ICO token. So you just start creating a token, so it has to have some value. Writing a white paper, so it's just like a small kind of analysis kind of a document which you try to do and just show value. You could do some kind of POCs, you could do some proof of concepts that way, and then try to get real-time customers. Just like for example, I remember XRP, they started doing a lot of proof of concept, Ripple specifically. So they then they entered the bank segments, and now you see, you name any bank, it is their customer. So they started with white papers. That's an amazing thing. Launching a website, this again can be done earlier, but this is also one important aspect. If you don't have a website, it's difficult to sell, so you definitely need a very strong website, a very good probably a coder that way. Press release, marketing, so this is again self-explanatory. This is you definitely need. There is no reason for not investing in this. And final is launch an ICO. So these are some steps I recommend you could start around while trying to get an ICO. But at the basic instinct, you need to know that while starting an ICO, make sure you check every angle and every aspect. It's just like your small baby, so you're just trying to take it very the things very not lightly. You should make sure you need to check all the legal aspects. You need to check your competition. So now the market is so much deep, because everyone is actually having an ICO. So how to compete into that market, how to have that blue ocean strategy, which has been talking again and again in the previous session. So to do that, you need to do a thorough research before even planning to start an ICO. But I recommend even companies who are into media, who are into marketing, they could also start an ICO, because they already have a lot of coverage. I know it's hard, but this is also something they could do, because I believe if you start an ICO and if that currency hits, people are going to buy real-time items in the future. So it's not just you're getting successful, but you could actually see people buying things from your currency which you have created. And it's not that very difficult. It's just about your mindset. It's about your growth mindset. That's the whole point I wanted to highlight in this specific PPT. Now I'll just quickly jump and show you some important stuff I wanted to show. So the first one being, this is a very good platform. I remember I got access in 2015, so it was very early for me. It's roughly 5.5 years from now. And you could see, like, most of the ICO people, they will be discussing every day about things regularly. So Bitcointalk.org, this is something I recommend if you want to talk about anything related with altcoins, as well as you want to know about Bitcoin. So you could get some ideas what people are posting. So you can see, like, there's like so many pages. So it's been going on, and you can see obviously every now and then, like, regularly people will be updating. So it's something which I recommend. You should definitely use this website. This is a very good research tool for me as well. So if I want to learn specifically about an IC, if I want to invest, or let's say if I want to recommend somebody to invest, so I'll go to bitcointalk.org. It's a very good platform, just like you find like Reddit, amazing platforms. The next one which I wanted to recommend is to write case studies. So you need to see the legal angle. So I recommend something called as Lexology. It's a very good website for legal directories. Because I was studying company secretary, so I was very passionate about laws and stuff like that. So I was very much into working with lawyers and stuff like that. So I was very much interested in learning this specific legal advices and stuff like that. So I believe if you're starting something new, you should definitely go to Lexology website like that. In India, I think this was a big win when Supreme Court said, like, it's a win for the blockchain industry. They lifted the ban when earlier it was not allowed. So this was published, I think, in March, for just before the lockdown and things like that. Something else if I want to talk about, so Coindex is one good website I highly recommend, because you could get a lot of information on this website. It has everything to see, and who is investing where, you could actually see. So you see, the website is so nice to look at, and I think you could get a lot of information if you want to learn things like that. Even I think if you want to learn about Bitcoin, you want to learn about blockchain, Ethereum, so you just see how beautifully they have designed 14 chapters, 9 chapters and stuff like that, right? So you could just see there's like multiple kind of things, how to trade on Binance, on Bitfinex. So it's like everything at a single place. So if somebody wants to learn trading, for example, so they can see on which platforms they can do. Similarly, you will find some more. So there's even minutes written, which is important to see. So how much minutes you need to spend to learn this specific kind of an asset. And there's like always some news coming in, so you can always see the press media releases, and obviously you can put your email ID to subscribe. I recommend this as a very good website. Next is my favorite, cryptocurrency, the one with Coinmarketcap. So with Coinmarketcap also, you have chances to do some learning. So you see here there's a learn button, so you could actually see the glossary, you could see the methodology, you can see the events calendar. This is important. So I click, for example, events calendar, so I can see right now in August, which ended, let's say this is the today last date, okay, 27th August. So there was something in Indonesia on blockchain. Then tomorrow there is World Forum USA. Okay, there's BitBlock Boom. So I can see future where wherever, like in Africa, so there is one specific conference going on. So to see every regular updates, I recommend Coinmarketcap. You can just register to get knowledge that way. So maybe in the future, if you launch your ICO, you can obviously become an exhibitor and try to show people the value, because that's how people have actually expanded like anything. If you see any ICO which is successful right now, so you can see, like, it's an entire entire schedule is given till the year end. Okay, even for January, in fact, they have listed March. Okay, so this is an amazing website. I highly recommend. And the important another one which I was saying in Coindex is my favorite research hub, where I can check the reports. Okay, so I can check the survey forms and stuff. So, for example, Crypto Fund Research 2020. So it can tell me, like, what are the hedge funds, venture funds, index funds, and even it can tell me how many people did that data, how they filled it, everything. So this is a very reputed website, and even you can get some webinars from here. You can get a lot of information this way, and you can also reach out to their press to see if you want to feature your own ICO, or if you want to do that way. And videos is something very interesting. I highly recommend, like, you should definitely see the videos which they have, right? So this is something very, very useful. Every day they post a lot of information, and this is easy to watch. It's not that very difficult to think about it. So you will get a lot of ideas. So the more you have this kind of things, so you can get more kind of ideas, I believe. You could get a lot of information this way. So this is something you could see. And as I mentioned, keep learning. And if you feel like there's something you want to look into it, and if you want some recommendation, I can definitely help you out. So this is all, Lee, from my side. I really appreciate your time in giving me this opportunity.
Nice presentation from you, Vama. I was following you at the background, seeing what you were presenting. They are
Thank
insightful.
you.
So, most especially ICO, most startups are having issues raising fund, and we believe that this opportunity that ICO have given, ICO just like IPO, but in the
Right.
crypto space, is ICO. It's an opportunity for you to raise fund and create what you have in mind, innovations and everything. So even when you were mentioning about Coindesk, you can still reach out to Coindesk. We have our own website where you can still get updates about cryptocurrency, daily updates. Thank you very much, Bama. I don't know if our audience, if they have questions.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of audience. I think we have Adex, Glory, John, Mahle. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. If you have any questions, you can obviously drop in the Q&A section, or you can also put it in the chat box. I'm always happy to answer any doubts, anything which you feel. You can ask me now.
Okay, in case maybe if you have questions later, you can reach out to us or directly to Bama. Maybe you can put out your contact in the chat box. Maybe they can reach out to you directly.
Sure. I really appreciate everyone coming here, and I definitely am happy to recommend Coin News Extra as well. Like, there's like a lot of knowledge I learned from your website, Lee. So definitely it's a win-win situation for everyone to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I think there's one question. What are the challenges of an ICO? Okay, so think about the challenges, just like you're starting a startup. What are the challenges? It's the same thing when you're trying to launch an IPO. So you will get similar kind of questions, you will get similar kind of ideas. So my recommendation is to know about the challenges. You need to know about your market and your country. Okay, so if your country allows you to raise capital, do crowdfunding, for example, so then see how strong is your network. So whenever I do crowdfunding, I just ask people, if I want to raise, let's say, $10,000 even, and I need to see whether I have 100,000 people which is relevant to that industry or not. Okay, so even if they spent us $0.1, so I can make that number, I can reach close to that. But if I want to have that kind of coverage, I always recommend that to get around those challenges, you need to do enough research. Maybe use Survey Monkey. I think that has been my important tool. So get more data. Once you have the data, I think you could get that kind of information. So one important aspect of as a challenge I see right now in ICO is people not having growth mindset. Okay, so they just have a fixed mindset. I will start it, and then automatically it will grow. So it's the same with a company. It doesn't grow automatically. It doesn't reap benefits right away. You need to have a long-term mindset. So if you have that, I think there's no way anyone can stop you that way. And I believe I have answered your question. So that way, just let me know.
Yeah, I don't think if there is, let's see if there is any other question.
Okay, there's one more question. Are ICOs meant to be taken down after its major purpose has been fulfilled, or it should be left running. So ICOs are something like it keeps going on. It's like a roadmap. Okay, so it's like a plan you start. Just like, for example, I want to raise capital. So there is a Series A fund, there is a Series B fund, there is a seed funding. So it keeps running. Okay, when you are an early investor, you actually have a great kind of a benefit because you get it at a less price. So I recommend if you are investing in an ICO, you should invest as early as possible. So as I recommended, you could go to websites where they show upcoming ICOs and do your enough research, because I'm not talking from a legal or something from that. So that is your research, but I can always recommend which ICOs you could look up to, because I believe the major purpose of ICOs is once it gets started, then the coin comes into the picture. Once the coin comes into the picture, there's case studies, right? So there's like a lot of things going to happen that way, right? So I hope I have answered the question. There's one more question. Websites that show ICOs: Coindex, Coin News Extra. Then we have something called as Coin News Marketcap. So there's some of the websites I can recommend. Hope I have answered the questions. Any more questions, please?
I don't think there's any other question. No
Yeah,
other
there's
question.
one more. Thank you so much, sir. You're really awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, thank you for your comment. It just makes my day. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I have answered all the questions, Lee.
Okay, thank you very much. That was very wonderful of you. Thank you of our audience for joining us today. Join us next week, same time, same platform.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you very
Lee.
much.
Have a
Bye.
great day.